Hey everyone, how's it going? Today I'm going to speak about a verb that can cause a lot of confusion because it can be used with different prepositions in different contexts. Now, let's start with looking at this picture and try to describe it. What do you see? As it seems to me, they are a group of people working with each other, and they're working on a project maybe or on a report. Maybe they work in sales department or in accounting. They're working with their equipments like laptops, and perhaps they work for a big company. So, why are they working? Actually, most people work for money. Okay, now, as you may have guessed correctly, we are going to speak about the verb work with different prepositions and different meanings. Now, let's start with more details and more examples. Now, let's begin. I can use the preposition in with the verb work when I'm speaking about a place or a location. In this context, I'm more referring to the physical aspect of that. For example, I work in a building or I work in the field. Or when I'm speaking about a department where I work, for example, I work in sales department or I work in accounting or in operation. Also, when I'm speaking about my job, I'm introducing my career. I can say I work in business. It means that I'm a businessman or I work in teaching. Let's look at the examples. I work in teaching means I'm a teacher. I work in the sales department. And yes, next one is for. I can use the preposition for with work when I'm referring to the type of employer or the company where I work. So, at also is very useful and very common to be used in this context. But what's the difference between for and at? No big difference. But for more refers to the employer person or the employer company. I work for my cousin. I work for myself. I'm self-employed. I can't say I work at myself, but I can say I work at a company. For example, I work at Amazon or at IBM, or also I can say I work for IBM or Amazon. So, it refers to the employment and being employed in different places. I work at or for IBM. Donald works for me. I work for money. I think most people work for money. There may be some poor people who work for food just to survive, or some people may play music or sing songs for their supper. But most of us work for money, specifically this type of money. Next one, work with. When you say work with, you're referring to a partner or a colleague. So, for example, I work with my colleagues at the office. I work with my clients. Sometimes you are an advisor, you are a teacher. For example, I work with the handicap. I work with children. By the way, handicap means the disabled. Or sometimes you have a kind of collaboration with a company. Maybe you are a contractor. You are not an employee. You just work for yourself, but you work with a company in a specific project. Work with tools or systems. You work with your laptop. You work with your gadgets. I work with my computer. I can't work without the internet. And what about the preposition on? On is something that you are spending your time, attention, or your effort on it. So, for example, a project, a problem, a planning, anything. I haven't finished it yet. I'm still working on it. I'm working on my Russian. You may be working on your grammar, something that you're aiming to improve or fix. Now that we have sorted out all the confusions or misunderstandings about the types of prepositions that we can use with the verb work, let's talk about the noun team. Do you work for a team? Or do you work in a team? Or do you work with a team? He plays regularly for that team. He plays regularly with that team. Which one is correct? Obviously, you are not employed in a team. You work together as team members or teammates in an equal position. So, he plays regularly with that team. So, that was today's video, and I hope it was useful for you, and I hope you will never confuse what to use with the verb work. And see you in the next video. Stay healthy and happy. See you.